Hey YouTubers, this is Dirty OM. I'm here to do a video response for A Thomas 216. Check out his channel. He left a comment on one of my videos. I can't really remember which one. But he asked me to check out his channel. I did, and the first video that I actually clicked on was one that was called Dreadlock Advice Please. Of course, I'm going to try and help him out. So I wrote down some major points that he, questions really that he asked. And I actually just made a video, but I realized that it was way too long. So I'm going to try and make this quick and painless. First off, anybody out there, I'll say the questions and then the answers, so hopefully, it'll also help other people. And also, my first piece of advice is I have only had my locks for like a year and a half. Like, mine aren't much older than his, than A. Thomas's. So, like, I might not be the best person to come to advice. I know some things, but not all the things I've experienced on my own. It's just stuff that I've compiled from watching YouTube videos, Google, blah, blah, blah. So what I give advice to you is Google that crap, YouTube that crap, and there's going to be somebody out there who you can find who has locks. Like, stop somebody on the side of the road and be like, oh, your hair's so nice. I like your color. How's that affected your hair? Does it make it break? Or find a friend who has a friend who has a friend, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're going to find somebody who has had locks for a while. Like, you can do it. I believe in you. Unless you just don't live around black people or some shit. Anyways, okay, question number 1. Should you combine your locks, A. Thomas? I said that, I think that you should wait. Locks, obviously, I don't know if you know this or whatever, but, I started mine with 2-strand twists. I don't know how you start yours, but 2-strand twists, of course, you might look tight at first, but then they loosen up. But when they start locking, after, like, the first few, like, palm roll, retwist, whatever, your locks will bud, so they'll kind of get bigger, and then they'll, like, constrict and become real locks. Like, mine are doing now. Like, mine are at the stage where they're actual locks. Like, they're pretty, they're pretty uniform. There's a few stray hairs here and there, if you can see that a little bit. But other than that, they're doing pretty good. But the thing is, like, as the bottom of your hair is budding, when you're retwisting it, this part is super, super thin, seems super thin compared to this. And I actually have a lock that has done that, and I felt like, and I actually had this concern because I watched a girl, Cheska Locks, and she said she did like a happy birthday video and was like, yeah, I combine my locks with thread. So I was like, dang, I wonder if I should do that because mine seemed thin. But then I ended up not, because I was like, I don't want thread. But if you see here, like, it gets thinner as it gets closer to the root, and look at how thick this part is. And that's just one of my locks, though. Like, and I honestly don't think this part is gonna shrink anymore. But that happened to a few of them. Like, when you get that fresh retwist, it will get, like, super skinny, and then the very bottom will be fatter. So I don't think you should worry too much about that. I think you should give it some time. See what it does. If you feel like they're just getting thinner and thinner and thinner, then combine them maybe, or go talk to, like, find a loctician and talk to them. Like, you shouldn't have to pay to ask them a question, but definitely do that because you don't want your hair falling off. That's point 1. Point number 2 is you said that you had waited 3 months before you, since you had retwisted in that video, and I think that's good. If anything, like, don't retwist every 2 weeks, retwist like every month or something like that, so then you won't be thinning your hair out so much. So just keep your hair healthy, and don't mess with it too much. You also said that you do the retwist thing, and that's another thing. Like, don't do that if you're worried about your locks are thinning out. Don't do something that'll hurt them, which that is something that can hurt them if you do it. So watch out and try and fight that habit. And quickly, a thing that I do is, I don't do that anymore, but I used to when I palm rolled, but now I interlock, so I don't do it. But something that I do with my hair is, like, I'll take the stray hairs and, like, wrap them around my lock. And I feel like that is not as bad as you, like, twisting at it. But at the same time, I'm not saying, oh, do this instead. But, if you feel like you can't fight the urge of twisting it, do that instead, because it actually satisfies you, because it seems like, hey, it actually helped, instead of the palm rolling will, like, relentlessly unravel. And it might just help you be able to be like, oh, I did that, now I can stop for, like, an hour instead of, like, only for 5 minutes. So, just watch out for things that you're doing that are thinning your hair. And other than that, just give it some time. If it is too thin, if anything, your hair will start breaking when it gets really long instead of like right now. I know that sounds bad. Like, it's okay. It'll only break off when it gets like to your chest or some crap. I know that sounds bad, but like really that's the truth though. Like your hair will be hanging on by a thread and then it'll break off instead of like breaking off 2 days from now. So just try your best, because when it does like really affect you, it's just gonna come out of nowhere basically. So watch out for that, and I'd say give it some time, and then maybe you should combine. But talk to somebody first, definitely. Don't just be like, screw this, it's not helping, blah blah blah, because I'm pretty sure it's natural, as you can see from my one weird lock. Okay, number 2, you don't think your hair will grow to your shoulders. I have no idea why you don't think that, but you gotta have faith. Your hair will grow. My hair has been growing, and like it'll like grow, and you'll be like, oh, it is kind of long, and then you won't notice, and then it'll grow, blah blah blah. So just give it some time. Like I said before, keep it healthy, blah blah blah. And like I said, if it is too thin, it's not gonna break off, when it gets this long. Like, it's gonna break off when it gets past your shoulders. So don't be like, oh, my hair is gonna fall out, it's not even gonna get to my shoulders. Like, that's not gonna happen. Don't worry. Number 3, you said some of your hair in the back was like bent up and you thought maybe it was from the do-rag. I'm pretty sure you're right. I have this bonnet, so I have to like stuff my hair in there, so sometimes it's curled under. Like, you can kind of see my hair's curled to my face, and that's because this bonnet, I know, I'm about to put it on. This bonnet, I have to push this hair in here just like that. Blah, blah, blah. So when I wake up, I come off and my hair is not like this. It's like that, and then I kind of just shake it and it goes back to normal. My hair is like very flexible. Like, I can bend it and all that crap, and it'll just go back to normal. Some people's hair is not like that. And honestly, it's more prone to breakage than mine is, because it's just like a tree. The bendier the tree is, the harder it is for the tree to be snapped in half. So, I don't know if your locks are like super thin, where if you try and bend it, it's like, it just won't move, but you can do like this. Well, not even like that, but you can do like this rather than like that, But hopefully it'll be like this. My aunt has locks down to her butt, and she uses pink lotion every night. She just lathers it in there like enough so that you can see it, puts on her scarf or whatever, goes to sleep, it soaks in the morning. She says it really helped. I have not been dedicated enough to do this every night, so I can't testify for you. But she says that people notice, it helps with the softness, blah, blah, blah. So maybe try that, and maybe it'll help your hair be more bendy, and that will also help your hair just feel stronger, feel healthier, and all that stuff. But the bending is definitely natural. Just like if you braid it and your hair holds curls, their locks is natural hair. It likes to be manipulated. Well, maybe it doesn't like to be manipulated, but it can be manipulated for the most part. And if it is bending, that's good. But really, if you're annoyed, just spray some water and it should go down. Like, it's not going to stay like this for the rest of your life. Don't worry about that. Or wash it. It should go straight again. But also, your hair is probably stiff if you take it off and it just stays like that. But if you can do like that and it'll unbend, then yeah. Or you're just tying your do-bag really, really tightly around that lock, because that can also do it. Because just like if you braid your hair, take it out, and it's curly, you can't just be like, oh, look, it's straight. Like, so it's the same concept. If you really, really bent it when you were sleeping, like, you might have missed this lock, and then when you went to sleep, it slept like that all night. Like, it's going to stay bent. You can't just pull it straight. So just spray some water out there, and they should go back to normal. Don't worry about that. Just watch out, like, I don't know, maybe try to fit more hair into your do-rag or something if you're like, I don't like the way this is and it's freaking me out. But I don't think you should worry about it too much. Next thing is, you said something about putting your hands in your hair, but I already said that. Talked about that. Oil sheen. You said you use water and oil sheen. I would suggest you use water and olive oil. Olive oil is more natural. Oil sheen probably has something in it that isn't good for your hair, blah, blah, blah. I take the water bottle and, it has the bottom, and then it turns into the little nozzle area. And I just fill up, like, the bottom with water and then fill the olive oil up until it rises to the top, basically. But you're not dumb. You can do whatever you want, like however your portions. You don't have to do 2 parts and 1 part, blah blah. It's not that serious. And do what you like. Some people are like, boil the olive oil with the water. That really doesn't make a difference. Like, scientifically speaking, that will not help. Like, seriously, it won't. So I don't think you should worry about that. What I do is I put that crap in there. Every time I spray, I shake it up really, really good. And if you want to test it, spray on your hand and you'll see like the water will be beaded up, or you can like feel it and you can feel the olive oil. If you're spraying and you can't really get the olive oil, put some more in your bottle and just shake it up some more. But that's a good way to get the natural moisture of water, and also putting oil in there to make it softer, shinier, blah blah blah, and just, give your hair some moisture too, but not too much, because olive oil will be really light, especially when it's diluted. So I'd say do that instead. There's also other types of other types of oils that you can get, but I've always done olive oil, but like, it's really, really easy to figure out some other stuff. Just like Google natural oils and their stuff should pop up. And sometimes people also put like scent in theirs, like orange scent, just to make their hair smell good. I don't think it hurts, but you can try that out too. Also, mango and lime products, I think they are overrated. I actually made a video about it. It's correct me if I'm wrong, because their conditioner really fucked me up, and I was like, what the hell is this shit? I was so upset. Okay, dye. I have dyed my hair. I don't know if you can tell, like, just the tips. I don't like the full dye because it makes your roots look like scraggly or something. I don't know. I just don't like it. So, I have dyed my hair, and it's funny because I actually like dyed it a color that was like this bright. It wasn't this orange, but it was like really, really bright, and this is as much as it came out. Like, you can't even see it. So I was like, oh. But the problem with dye is that sometimes people don't rinse it enough. People say go do it professionally, blah, blah, blah. If you do it at home, you have to make sure you rinse it enough, because since your hair is so thick, and this happens with all buildup, like, it can get stuck in the middle of your lock, and then I guess the bleach will be eating away at your hair for like, and you'll be like, la da da, your hair will be growing, but that bleach will be in there eating away at it like a parasite, and then next thing you know, it'll start breaking off. Once again, the girl I referenced earlier, Cheska Locks, she says that the one thing she regrets with her locks is the dye. She says that it definitely damaged her hair, so watch out for that. But at the same time, I'm not trying to scare you, because like I said, I did my hair, and I'm pretty sure, like, I knew that dye, well, everybody should know that dye isn't good for your hair in general, but like, just be careful, like, really, really rinse it out. Don't be like, oh, that's fine. If you're like, oh, sure, if it's a sure, hell no, get your ass back in the shower and keep rinsing so that, your hair doesn't fall off. But that's another thing. I'm pretty sure if it starts breaking, it'll be when your hair gets longer too. So it's going to be a long-term type effect, I guess you would call it. And the last thing is braids. I don't know if you meant like three-piece braids, like box braids, whatever you want to call them, or cornrows. But I would say, like, I don't know if you know how to do it yourself or what, but, if you do it yourself, you're not going to be like, oh my God, it's so tight, it's so painful, and, like, don't hurt yourself. Like be okay, like, calm down, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but don't do it too tight. If you don't know how to do it and you go to somebody else, go to somebody who you feel comfortable, like, and be like, look, when I say it's too tight, loosen up. So go with somebody who you're comfortable telling them, yo, that's too tight, chill out, and they'll loosen up. Because if you're already having problems with, like, freaking out about thinning, then you don't need to, put more pressure. And if anything, just wait a little bit while so that you can see, is it actually thinning, or is it just, my locks actually locking up? Give it a couple months, blah, 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 let your hair be healthy and you feel comfortable, and then go get braids. And when you feel comfortable with your hair, that doesn't mean, oh, cool, now I can get my braids tight as hell. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Just give it some time, because unless you're like, fuck this, and cut your locks off, then, like, or the worst case scenario, sorry, I just got really morbid, unless you, like, pass away, I'm pretty sure you have time to braid your hair, and I hope you do. I hope you do have time to braid your hair. I'm sorry, that's so depressing. I'm very realistic. Excuse me. Anyways, when you do get your hair braided, let them retwist your hair first and then braid it, because then it'll look neater. So, you know, you'll have retwisted it, you'll be able to see your scalp, your hair will be looking right, and then when they braid it, it won't be so weird that it's loose, because, you know, the main thing with it being loose is, like, especially when your hair isn't in locks, when it's just out and you braid it, if it's loose, it's all puffy and shit. But if you are retwisting your hair, you don't have to worry about that. So they can braid it really, really loose, and not really, really loose, but pretty loose, and you won't, like, you'll still be able to see your scalp. It'll still look neat. So just watch out for all that. Take care of your hair. Try the oil, and try and not retwist it too often, even if it's, you know, sitting there like doing like that, because that's also bad. Just because your hair is dry, you don't want to do that. Another thing, keep your hair moisturized when you're styling it. When they braid it, moisturize. When they retwist it, moisturize. Whatever you do, moisturize it with that water and olive oil. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now because it's over 15 minutes. All right, I hope that helped, and I hope that helps everybody else. I'll see you guys later. I'll be making a video very soon. Bye, and good luck with your channel.